Hey guys, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and I have something totally unique today. So what I do is I end eating disorders. That's exactly what we do. And with the program that I coach, we've freed hundreds of women from their eating disorders, from their food struggles. And there is an amazing woman in my program right now. And we have a call where people can just, ask any questions and I coach them through it. And it's always just a really amazing experience. But I mean, I've never done this before, but this is just, it's a confidential call. We record because, I give access to the playback for those who are in my program. But the way that she just described her transformation and what's happening for her and the amazing progress that she's made. And it was just amazing, just like the real, raw, what has happened in her life. And so I talked to her afterwards and I said, hey, like, I haven't done this before, but how would you feel about me just like taking a little audio of what you said today on our call and sharing that? And she just said that would be awesome, that would just be a cool thing. Like she was actually like super happy that I asked her about it. And I'm really grateful to her for that. So I'm going to share this with you guys. Like this is just her real experience, just how she shared with us live on our session. And I'll just let you enjoy that. So yeah, Lydia, the lifestyle coach, and here is an amazing woman that you're about to meet.
So lots of celebrations this week for me. Like I was having to write them down because I've had so many. And like I told you when I called you or sent the polo to you, like I was doing this thing because all these other people are talking about like, oh, I had this regular meal. And I'm like, why can't I eat yet? And I'm a weekend. I've gone from 12 binges a day to like 2 binges a day. And I'm like, why am I not perfect yet? And it's just, if anyone else were to say that, I would look at them and be like, she's doing so great. Why in the world would she say that? But you're so hard on yourself. But so I did the testing days where I tried to eat junk food and see if I could handle it. And I couldn't, of course, and ended up binging. Well, last night, I went to the gym and just like, I don't know, I'm thinking about it more. Like yesterday, I'm like, okay, when I get done from the gym, I know I'm probably gonna be pretty hungry because I can't eat before I go, because then if I run, I'm gonna get sick, if I run, so I can't eat before I go. So as soon as I get done, I'm gonna be famished. So instead of waiting till I get home, I'm gonna make a smoothie, have it in the car so I can drink it on the way home, and kind of just preparing myself a little bit so that the chatter won't be there, I guess. And so I did that, and I had my smoothie on the way home, and like I felt really good when I got home and the chatter was there, and it was like, you could do this, you could do that. But I was like, I'd actually like to have a salad. And it's so funny because I was laughing hysterically when you were talking about having your salads, because I made this huge salad, like absolutely in a mixing bowl, massive salad. It was lettuce, but it was with olives and avocado and lemon juice for dressing. And I'm like, the exact salad that she's talking about. But I mean, it was way more than I ever would have eaten, ever, ever, ever. But when I first walked in, I saw there was like some almonds sitting there, and I was like, I might have a couple almonds. And I just had a couple, and I was almost like listening for the chatter, like to tell me keep eating. And it actually wasn't there. Like I just ate a couple, and then I was like, I'm going to go make my salad. And I just kept going. And it was just the most bizarre feeling to not have that little, devil on your shoulder, the chatter, because it was the first time I've experienced. I mean, it's like slowly the chatter is getting a little bit quieter and less frequent. And that is a really, really big deal. I mean, I don't want to get like where I feel like I'm safe. So I'm like, oh, it's not there anymore. But just being able to eat a couple and be like, okay, I think I'm going to go make my salad now. And I made the salad, and at first the chatter's like, you can't make it. This is way too big. And how many calories are in the olives? And, at first I only did a few olives and, half of the avocado. And then I was looking at it, I'm like, why can't I'll finish the avocado. Otherwise I'm going to end up throwing the other half away anyway. And, I went ahead and ate more olives than I would and more avocado than I would. And it was delicious. Like I enjoyed every bite. And, I ate too much. I did eat too much, like to where I was almost uncomfortable, because I kept eating, but it was just it was because I was really enjoying it and not that like it's funny when you were talking about the chatter a minute ago, and you're like, like a crackhead. And that's how my chatter usually is like it's done some meth or something, and it's just so fast. You almost, it's just on you. And it's just, I'm learning how to slow it down and, really call it out the minute it starts talking. When it goes into its bizarre crackhead talk, I'm like, wait, stop. What now? Say that again, because I didn't hear you the first time, and then, really working through that stuff. And so that was very cool, being able to actually have a meal. And then I didn't purge after, which it's the first like real meal, like, and a big meal, especially feeling that uncomfortable, full feeling, because I haven't felt that in months, and 6 months, 8 months. I have not been full and not been purged. And so it's gotten to the point where I hate that feeling. Like other people say, I was reading the Brain Over Binge, and she was talking about how she would eat and she'd feel so good and fuzzy, and she'd go to sleep after she would binge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. I hate the feeling of being full. Like, it's almost a sick feeling. And so last night I was full, and I just kind of sat there and was able to just go about my night, and I was okay. So anyway, so that was a really, really big victory for me.
Thank you. Huge. Like your first real meal in maybe 8 months without eating and having the chatter quiet down so much. Like, this stuff is huge.
Yeah. So I was very, very excited about that. And that made me, I was talking to one of my friends last night, and I was like, they always say it takes 21 days to build a habit and blah, blah, blah. But I have been able to make these changes in days. I mean, in a matter of days that I'm quieting the chatter and, talking to it, and kind of just making the choice to do it. And it's really crazy. I've been thinking a lot about, the power of the brain, the power of the mind, the power of hope, just the idea of, I can choose not to do this, or I can quiet the chatter, and I have control of my body. And I've been reading both Brain Over Binge and Rational Recovery that she talks about. She based Brain Over Binge on, and there's just so much information about just taking control. And I was thinking about how, like when they talk about being able to do surgery, like major surgery under hypnosis versus anesthesia, and just the fact that your brain is that powerful. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but the fact that your brain is that powerful is just incredible. And just in a matter of days, being able to talk to your own brain, your more lower brain, but being able to reason with yourself and make the right choices has just been like within days. It's so cool. But and I noticed that the binging behavior, when I started binging and purging, I started binging, so to speak, with various things in my life, like not binge watching television or even shopping. Like I was a binge shopper as far as that whole mentality. I would go to the store, and rather than being like, okay, here's my list, I'm going to go by my list and blah, 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 I would just start throwing stuff in the cart. I mean, no concern, charge it, man, and I would just throw so much stuff in without even, I shopped in the same way that I ate. It was like an animal, no thought, no anything. It's just go, 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 like this crackhead, and I have not been to the store since last Friday when I bought groceries and stuff. And I'm like, I go by the store every day, and before it was just a compulsive, I need to go because what if I need something for tonight, and it just this very manic feeling. And now I haven't been to the store, and today I have to go, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some apples and some oranges and this and that. And like, it's not even, I don't know, it's not that just anxious feeling. It's like, oh, I've got to go get the stuff on my list. And so that was another win,
that huge. That is so huge. Isn't it amazing to see how this impacts every area of life?
Yes.
And that's what noticing, like, oh, this is the same thing. And once it gets better in one area, like that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's incredible. Like, I can't stop talking about it. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to write a book or something because I'm just going nuts here with all this information. I'm like, 10 days in and I'm just going crazy with how cool this is. Because it's so exciting. And I want to talk, I want to talk to everybody. I'm like, do you have a problem with shopping too much or eating too much or drinking too much? Cause I can help you, let me tell you about this cool thing I found, and, so anyway, another thing was I was looking at the polos from the other girls and I forgot who it was, but somebody said that they did polos to themselves. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to feel super goofy doing that. But I did. I created a little polo channel just for myself. And yesterday, I started having kind of a moment where it was boredom. I was procrastinating and I was bored. And that thought, to binge. And I'm like, I'm going to do the little polo to myself. And so I went on there and I just started talking to myself. And I'm like, I literally repeated, I'm like, I don't want to binge. I don't want to, because I do not want to binge. I want my brain to hear that I don't want to binge. This is not what I want. And I talked to myself for a minute, and then literally 5 minutes after my polo, all of the desire passed, everything passed. I went on with my day, didn't even think about it again, and just these the tips and the tricks and the tools that everyone uses. It's been so helpful and uplifting. So that was really cool.
Yay, that's so congratulations.
Thank you. I've got so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just got too much. It's been a really good week. I'm so excited. And I know there's ups and downs. Like I had a really good day one day and then the next day I had kind of a hard day. But it's been also just shocking to me that previously when I'd be really healthy and then I'd fall off the wagon, as you know, with most alcoholics and things like that, you fall off the wagon. It's not a day. It's not one binge. You're like, well, I screwed up. Might as well enjoy my week, or whatever. And as soon as I had binged the one day, I'm like, okay, or one night, the next day, I'm like, this is not going to be good. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm already back to day one. I've completely fallen off the wagon. And the next morning I woke up, started my routine, went about my day, had my smoothie, didn't even think about binging. And it was just like, wow, I really am making progress every day. This is not like if you mess up, you go back to day one at all. Like you can mess up and still have all of the progress that you made and keep going. And that's a new concept for me too,
Yeah.
And amazing. And the binging, where I was saying it affected all aspects of my life. When I would go to the gym before, I would work out really hard, like with a purpose, and I want to run faster than I've ever run before. And I want to do this mile, I've never gone to the gym and just walked on a treadmill ever, even to the point of wanting to throw up. Like I would just push myself so hard and I would do the highest weight that I could possibly do to the point of barely being able to walk the next day, and I've been a little bit better about that lately, but still I've been pushing myself harder than I really should, and yesterday I went to the gym and I'm like, why am I just muscling through this workout and just forcing it? I'm going to walk today on the treadmill. And I walked and read a book rather than just running at top speed. And then I did my weights and everything. And I just enjoyed the whole experience, kind of slowed everything down. And it's just I realized that that whole binge thing, it's just every aspect of my life has been this mania, and you can only do that so long. And then you have the depression that goes with it. And so anyway, so that was very, very cool.
That is really cool. Do you see how much joy you've gotten back in your life?
Oh yes. Big time. And everyone can tell too. They're like, oh my gosh, you're just so different. And it's funny because my friend he was asking me about the money, and he's like, I know it's kind of like an expensive course or whatever. And you got these books and you've listened to a couple things and you already feel so much better. Was it worth it? Do you feel my gosh, I could have just spent $50, read a book and been fine? And I said, it was worth every penny. Mm-hmm. I said, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. Think of all the money that I have spent, not only this last year, but this lifetime, and not the money, but the time that I've missed and the experiences that I've missed. And the fact that I could turn that around and start just not canceling on friends and going to events and being able to be around. I'm like, you can't put a price on that. You can't. And I wouldn't have done it just on my own because I didn't do it for the last 16 years on my own. So anyway, so that was very, very, very cool. And then my last thing was kind of like when you put the good stuff out and good stuff comes back. And I went to a program the other night. It was at 7:00 at night. It was a program put on by my chiropractor's facility on natural health, which I've been practicing natural medicine for 10 years and 15 years. And anyway, but I wouldn't have gone to it before because it was 7:00. That's like prime binge time, you know. And the weather was bad and I didn't really want to go. And like all of the things where my chatter's like, don't do this, don't go. Well, I ended up going and I was talking to the doctors afterward and they offered me a job on the spot. Like they were like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I was like, well, you know, I'm a nurse and I practice natural medicine, but I've been, you know, taking care of my sick dad for the past couple of years. And so I haven't, you know, I've been just painting furniture and stuff. And they're like, hey, you want a job? And I was looking for a job, but kind of not really. And they just like offered me a job on the spot. And I'm like, man, all these things are kind of like the universe, God, everything is just coming together when you start, you know, living your life with a purpose instead of just existing. And so it's just, this whole week has just been kind of like the big pink cloud or whatever that people say. But like, I feel like my eyes are kind of open and my future is brighter. And it's just, I mean, going from not wanting to live because you can't do this anymore to feeling like, oh my gosh, I've got all these possibilities. It's just, so yeah. So that was my
I love it. We are celebrating with you. I'm so happy for you. And it really is like, it's hard to even tell all the good that happens.
Yeah.
Like, we don't realize what sort of like a glow that we have when we're free. We don't realize how other people can see how down we were before and how alive we are now. We don't realize how attractive we are to employers or to, you know, to people that we're dating or like, you know, when we're just free. It's so cool to just see the ripple effect and the impact. So that is awesome.
Yeah,
That's also awesome.
I think that's what it was, is like, I went into the program just because I couldn't stand, I knew that it was wrecking my health and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't afford it anymore. And I just didn't want to do it, you know? So I just wanted to stop binging and purging. Like that was my goal. And I was willing to spend the money just to be done with binging and purging and to have, especially this soon in, to have all the different things coming to you and you realizing, my gosh, I wasn't doing this program to quit binging and purging. I was doing it to get my friends back and my family back and my life back and my time back and my job back. You know, like all the things that you're like, my gosh, it just took over everything. And it also makes, I think the idea of that kind of quiets the chatter for me too, where like it has a lot less value and a lot less impact on me when I'm like, wait a second, look how amazing this stuff is. Do I really want to binge right now? And, you know, go back to, you know, just sitting in my room eating Little Debbie's rather than going and hanging out with my friends and family or, you know, and so yeah, no major questions or anything like that other than just, I think I did have one, but I got so excited about all the benefits and stuff. Actually, I think everything has been answered. I just, the idea of testing myself, I realized I can't do that. And I just, even if it means eating nothing but smoothies and salads right now, because that's what I, you know how to eat and that's what I enjoy. And I can eat that without binging, and doing that long enough, I can see that it just naturally, like yesterday, I wasn't trying to eat something different when I grabbed those almonds, but that's something I wouldn't have eaten before. And I just kind of did it naturally. And I think that I have to just let it go and all that will kind of come. So,
yeah. And do you see like just, this is a good reference, just the natural progress of like when everything gets better and you're feeling more free, like grabbing some almonds isn't like a, now today is almond day, you know, it's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I'll have the salad. Like, and you'll see that things will start coming up. Like there isn't anything you need to force. Like you focus on your freedom, you focus on these principles, And then you'll just see how things sort of unfold, because it is natural for your body to eat. It is
Yeah.
natural for your body to want certain things, certain foods. It's natural for your body, as you let go of that fear in your brain around food, to just be like, oh, this sounds good, right? So I think that's like your intuition there is really good. I'm just like, yeah, just enjoy, celebrate. This has been so fun to celebrate with you.
Thank
And then
you.
practicing, right? And it's like the best is yet to come. Okay, guys, so there it is. I mean, I am so excited for her. I mean, this sort of thing is not uncommon in our group, but I just love her realness of describing just the sorts of things that have happened for her. And I just want you to know, like, real transformative lasting freedom, like not just putting a band-aid on something, or like, you know, trying to manage an eating disorder, just not having an eating disorder anymore is an absolute possibility. I mean, we see it all the time. So, I mean, if you would like some help, if this is something that you're struggling with in any way, feel free to go to lydialifestyle.com and you can have a free session. You can have an amazing experience with a masterclass that we have that is also free, with the 5 elements to permanently ending binge eating. We have a live event on, you know, in 2018, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. There's a link to that at lydialifestyle.com as well. So just wanted to share that with you. Thank you guys for all of your amazing support and for being part of this cause. And here's to freedom.